So this is the experiment 7, number 7. Okay. And this experiment, probably we all love it, most of us. It is your thoughts and consciousness provide the scaffolding for your physical body. That is, whatever thoughts and consciousness you are thinking about your body is what the body will fit in. You know, I remember somebody telling me when I was in college that don't buy too much loose dress because then your body will fit into it. So does that mean you buy a tight dress and suffocate yourself? Right? But somehow this loose dress, every time I'll think, oh my gosh, what if I'm going to fit into it? You know, so some of the beliefs, however stupid they are, they're in us, right? And they keep playing around with you once in a while. And that's enough, actually, if they're playing around with you, to change your body shape. And afterwards, what I realized is, it's not exactly body fitting into that loose dress. It's my perception of the body changes. I try to see my body fitting into it, right? Because somewhere I have believed that belief. And if I have believed it, I want to prove myself right. That means my perception will be as if it is fitting into the dress. Will I be really fitting in? Not sure. So many times what happens is, with this kind of a belief, you stand on the weighing scale. What weighing scale shows is also your perception. Meaning, I'm not telling that it's showing the wrong thing. It is showing what it is, your body, but that has already changed by your body, because your body is expecting you to see that there, because that's as per your belief. You understood what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, what you're seeing is an illusion. It's not the truth for the body. But the body is showing that to you because you believe that. So how easy it is for all of us to have a different belief, to change our body weight. Okay, body weight has body fat, and it has muscle mass. It has so many different, different fats actually. Under the skin, you have different fat. Around the organs, you have different fat. Under the skin, fat is actually protecting. Around the organs are bad thing. It'll put a lot of pressure on the organs. And other flabby fat is bad. So when you're saying that I want to lose fat, you don't know where you will lose, right? We generalize it that I want to lose, but are you losing your protection? Are you losing your good fat? All of these things matter, but we don't have any idea about this fat. We don't know anything about the body actually. So our beliefs actually work against the body, right? So let's discuss a few things about it, and then we do some experiments related to this. So what they say is, whenever people did this experiment, 90% of the time it has worked for everybody. 10% it's not worked. And why? Mostly because there are people here, they don't want to lose weight, they want to gain weight. There are some few people here. Now again, our perception here is everybody wants to lose weight because I want to lose weight, no? So my attention goes only there, right? And if anybody is wanting to gain weight, maybe they're not in my friends list, right? Because it's so unusual and I can't understand them at all. I have a friend like that. She used to celebrate even if she is able to get 500 grams more. And she would feel extremely sad if she loses that 500 also. She would say that somehow I managed to gain, but then now even that is gone. And I would, when I'm talking, generally I would give an example of how, they could be, how they could be, how stupid that is, that they worry about gaining weight. She used to get annoyed. I would never understand it. I'm like, who in the world can get annoyed about gaining weight? Okay, so this is again, we create our world around us, right? We create our world in such a way that everybody tells us that you put on weight, or it's like, oh, it'll be, even you look better if you lose a little bit of weight, or, are you not feeling well? Everything is okay in your family? You seem to be putting on weight. These are the kind of, that's the world I'm talking about. We create our world where we are regularly reminded about our own beliefs about ourselves. But why have we been, again, I'm generalizing we here, okay? I know there are a few people here who don't have any reason to lose weight or, release weight. That's what somebody mentioned the other day. So why are we in this category? And why do I have here at least 5 people here want to lose weight? Right? Look at that. So look at that. Almost everybody except Diveshri. So she is not in my friends list. So it's like everybody who wants to lose weight, lose fat, let me put that way. So this is my world I've created, right? And another thing I'll tell you, recently, as in probably the beginning of this month, I just decided that I want to become extremely fit and nice and slim and whatever that is. So I am doing a regime, and I'm also observing every bit of what I eat. Of course, I took a help of an app, everything. And then I thought, this is the time I do some amount of therapies for myself. And so I just got enrolled myself into some of the constellations and etc. And when I opened up to see what is the next experiment, it happens to be about losing weight. See, this is how I'm creating my world, right? And this is how even all of you have created your world. It seems very good at some point, but it seems the whole world is so common. We are not that unique, right? We are not that unique. I think if anybody decodes our mind, I think it's very easy because it's like 2-3 categories, that's all. There's nothing so much unique in this world, right? I think it's very simple and easy. If anybody cracks it, it's so easy to crack this world. Okay. So 90% of the people, whoever has done this experiment, have lost weight. That's a good news for all of us. And for Diveshri, she can become more healthy and more nice, and not necessarily to lose weight.
I just have to reduce my tummy.
Look, she at least has one part.
I used to worry when I was in college. I used to weigh only 36 kg. People used to mock at me.
Don't even tell me that. I don't remember 36 kgs. And so yeah. So Diveshri can become more healthy, or if she wants to increase the weight, it's her choice. I don't even want to hear it when she wants to do that, intend everything. Okay. So let's see. Let's also talk about a little more about this. So they said that it's that easy. Now, all they're trying to prove is we tried our best on the plants and we came out with so much doubt because the plant is outside us, right? It's something, not me, right? So now the thing is to experiment on ourselves. Maybe it's much more easier and simpler because I assume that I know myself a little bit. Okay. So I can change my stuff, tune myself to the direction of losing weight. Okay. So this seems to be a very interesting experiment. Now, so there is this guy who has apparently done a great movie, which is called I Am. Okay. So let me, what's his name? Anybody knows the name of this guy? His name is Tom Shadyac. He's the one who's done quite a few Jim Carrey movies, actually. The Bruce Almighty, all those things are done by him. And he's done this movie, which is called I Am. If he's done Bruce Almighty, I definitely would want to watch this I Am and then see what he's kind of met many masters and spiritual leaders and so many other people, even some scientists, and trying to find out who we are. Okay, so it's must be there in Prime also, because I searched it. It's there. Try to watch that movie. Okay, so we can discuss about it some other time. It's called I Am, and as part of that, I believe he says he goes to a organization. Okay, which the organization name is Heart Math. It's a non-profit research organization which works on stress and human energy, how stress actually changes the human energy part. So when he goes there, what they do is they take a bowl of yogurt. For that, they put the electrodes, you know, the electrodes, right? Whenever the brain waves, everything, they use the electrodes. They put that and they make him sit in front of it and they just talk about his life. And when he talked about his divorce part, I think it just, started showing off the whatever it captured was bad. And when he spoke about his lawyer, he said that I have unfinished business with his lawyer and I'm really stuck. It went haywire, that thing. And when they stopped talking about his life and they came back to the room, in the sense, stopped thinking about everything else. And when they came back to the moment, the present, it just stayed still. So he was like, it's okay, it's a bowl of yogurt and it's a white blob thingy. What it can actually gather your emotions and your thoughts, not just emotions, even thought. Okay, so he experienced that everything around us actually shows it's keep picking our thoughts. In fact, human beings are one probably who don't pick up so much thoughts. Why? You know why? Can you guess why? Because we can talk.
So full of our own thoughts.
Yeah, we have our own thoughts. Of course, everything has its own thoughts, but we can talk. We have so many other capabilities which we use. So we don't pick like that and react to that way. Maybe that's the way everything else react, show reaction, not talk. Okay, so there's another incident where this guy who was a CIA agent. Okay, and one day he was sitting in his office, he didn't have anything to do. So he had a galvanometer, which is used for measuring small current. Current is an energy, right? And everybody has energy. We also has current, electromagnetic current. So he had a pot near him, pot plant in that. So he decided that he attached those galvanometer into the house plant, and he literally started abusing the plant. Like, what did he do? He dipped that leaf into his hot tea, and he in fact burned one leaf also with his cigarette lighter. And every time when he did, it was just feeling too much, all kinds of the energy change it was showing. And when he's keeping quiet, the plant would sit quietly. Okay, so he started experimenting with many plants. And then after he retired, he started one company which has the largest lie detection agency, and he uses plants. So if someone is lying, the plants can tell you. Because in your head, you have decided that you are lying. So there is definitely, your body is talking. Your body is going to talk, right? See that thing which we did, lie, definitely body won't have any resistance. It feels weak, right? So this can be actually perceived by the plants. But why a human being cannot perceive? Human being can easily perceive it, but we have logical reasons and we rubbish it off. We'll think that I'm making up in my head. Correct? So we don't believe that. So this is one more example. There's one more example that there was this guy. Okay, he's a yoga master or something like that. And his father, who was in India and learned yoga from somebody, etc., his son was very fat. So he taught his son a breathing technique from yoga. So whenever he did that, he kept thinking good. He kept thinking, he made him change his perception of the body, and he would breathe. Okay. In 1 month, he lost 50 kgs, 100 pounds, approximately. And all he did was just kept doing the breathing exercise. Maybe he did pranayama or whatever that is, along with his thoughts about the body. He didn't do anything else. His diet remained the same. I bet all of us are feeling, oh my God, is that so simple? Why not I try? 2 days we try, and the third day we forget about breathing. Not the normal breathing, the pranayama kind of a breathing. Because we immediately feel that I have to keep aside some 10 minutes for it. And suddenly we are so busy, or we feel that sitting and breathing is so boring, I can rather go to gym and do some exercise. It feels good. Okay, that's also already we are deciding for the body, right? You don't even have to probably breathe. Can we change the viewpoint about the body? I was thinking about it when I was reading this. And to be very honest, I felt I don't have any viewpoint about my body. Okay, that is, I want to be thin. I am so fat. This is bad. That is bad. I don't look good in that dress. Any of that. So I don't have that. Then, but there is one thing which is constant. Constantly throughout my life, why am I trying to be thin and slim and beautiful? Okay, sorry, I'm beautiful, but still, whatever that thing, okay? Why? Why am I trying that? That is the point, right? So there's something deeper which I don't know, right? And now if I look back some 20 years back photo, I feel, oh my gosh, how thin I was. But even then I thought like that, right? I thought I should become even more thin. So it's like that. We don't know a lot of things which are deep down in our head. And when you don't know about it, if you want to think good about your body, you feel, I already feel good about my body. What am I doing? Right? So maybe breathing may not work for me, but maybe, I like exercising. Maybe exercising with a good thought maybe would work. Having fun and exercising may work, right? Something like that. So why I'm expressing this, because when you're doing this experiment, you need to customize it according to your way of living, or as you, right? So that's another thing. And don't expect in 3 days, 4 days time to lose 50 kgs. However, my brain already started working. If it's for 30 days, 50 kgs, then for 3 days, how many kgs? And I thought maybe I should think about that many kgs. Okay, but I haven't even started my experiment. I urge all of you not to have any kind of calculations like this, because calculations are the one which will make us go haywire, right? We won't be able to see the beautiful light if you're doing the calculations like this. That's a learning from my side. So there was this lady, okay, who was always trying, like me, to become little more thinner, okay, and then she couldn't. She would lose a bit and gain back, okay. So she started doing EFT, emotional freedom technique. And every time she would address all her inhibitions, anger, whatever it is there in that present moment, but she will always end up saying that because of this, I don't have to put on layers of fat around me. I don't have to put on weight around me. Like that, she would say. Any reason, whatever she gets it, she would say, because of this, I don't have to actually. You know, kind of telling the body that chill out, buddy, it's all right. I'm experiencing all of this, doesn't mean that you put on weight. Okay. So she kept doing it and she was able to lose a lot of fat. She became, you know, thin and slim and fabulous body. And then she remained like that for a long time also. Maybe somewhere she convinced her body that you don't have to, you know, fit into the free loose dress. You don't have to. That's what I am thinking, that you don't have to. It's like that. Okay. So that's another thing. And so there is this beautiful thing. This, I told you about the yoga guy, right? He's written a book called Breathing Space. Maybe it's a good idea for people to discover what he's written there. At least if you can hear an audio book, because why I'm trying to say is everything affects everything else, right? Our thoughts affect everything. Others' thoughts, even others' books also affects us, influences us. So even by hearing it or reading it, somewhere it will definitely make a change in us too. That's the beauty of reading the books. And the Bruce Lipton says in the biology of belief that he gives an experiment. That is, they took some set of people, 20 or something, 20 people, who had severe knee problem, okay? And 20 of them underwent the surgery, knee surgery. The rest of the 20 people, they did the incision, that is, they cut the knee, but they did not do any surgery. And they stitched it and they told them that we have done the surgery. Now, both the groups actually became too well, very nicely, and then their knee problem went away. They started playing basketball. All of it happened. One set of people underwent the surgery, other set of people did not. So what it means is we don't have to really do any thing like surgical stuff, etc., provided you are very good at manipulating your brain, mind, basically, right? Now, if you're not, if it becomes like our Methi experiment, you rather go for a surgery, that's your choice. But if you're able to crack how you can convince yourself, each of us are different. So we need to learn about ourselves on our own. If you're able to do that, then keep on changing. That's what you call as manifestation, basically. But you can keep on changing yourself and get what you really want. But you might have to work hard for it, at least a month. If the body needs to change, at least you need 1 month to 3 months time, right? So, but it's possible because time and again, everybody has proved that it is possible. So now we come to the experiment. We are supposed to keep our food habits, exercise habits, all same as you are doing now. Now, when we are talking about it, it is so strange or it is inevitable that we become very aware of what we are doing the experiment. And we in general want to be successful in our experiments actually. Isn't it? Especially in this particular experiment. I want to prove myself that yes, it's possible. Because there is a byproduct that you lose weight. So what happens is that starts actually already influencing us in terms of, I bet in the 3 days you'll be so really aware of what you're going to eat. That awareness itself is enough for you to pull you down with your, fat. Okay. And then you may walk a little, some 100,000 steps more. God knows. You'll create the situation in such a way that you'll run around. Okay. And then you'll say that, wow, this experiment worked. Okay, that's how 90% of the people have felt that experiment has worked, because their awareness about themselves, what they're doing changes. Although the experiments say that you talk to the food, you bless the food, and you enjoy the food, and you tell the food that all the required nutrients will go to me, my body, and the remaining things I don't have to hold it like a fat. Okay, so basically the experiment is every day what you eat. If you are already in a regime, even then it's okay. Even then, you're not supposed to stop. Whatever you are doing every day, eat the same things, but mindfully you eat it. You see that how good it is that you only have cooked or someone else has cooked, but how nice it is. Find out the taste and how you can even change the taste. You may not like something, but when you observe it, how nice it feels. And are you really eating, stuffing yourself and eating and finishing off a job? Or are you really eating it when you're hungry? So when you're hungry, when you eat it, how your body feels. Or when you're not hungry and you just want to finish your, one chore of the day, how does that feel? So figure it out. Try to convert everything. Like you don't have time. Let's assume you have so much work in a day and you need to finish off the breakfast. Okay, it's all right. But tell the food that this is my situation, but you don't have to become any fat. Don't increase my weight because I don't have any choice now. This is the only time I have. Okay. And then also ask the body, what do you want? What do you want to eat today? Okay, I feel like eating this. Okay, let's eat. You want to drink water? Okay, drink water. It's too much of water like those methis of Gauri. Okay, no more water. Let's be like that. 3 liters. Who says 3 liters? Okay, let's do today what we like. Okay, so this experiment is for 72 days. Okay, because in 72 days, at least you should be able to see. Again, we should not put that thing, but let's aim at seeing a difference of 500 grams. Yeah, you can't lose 1 kg in 3 days. Then you are actually probably not being so good to your body. But anyway, if you lose 1 kg, of course, not doing heavy exercises and whatever, and coming and telling next week that, you know what, I lost 1 kg, I don't believe. Then I would want you to probably tell the secret. Okay, but very naturally eating the normal thing as what we are eating every day and following the same regime, what you're following every day, if you're able to lose 500 grams, that's a very good programming your mind. Then in a 7-day time, okay, 3 days is what you're going to check. In 7 days, let's see how much you do it. Okay, you want to add your breathing technique because that guy is done. Of course, go ahead and do it. What you want to like, do not force your body. That's the whole point. Do not force your body that I'll sit here and do some breathing. No, not necessary. Okay, but you feel good about breathing, sitting in your balcony, please do so, right? Whatever you feel like doing lovingly and talking to the food. That's the most highlighted point here. So you change your food And then you put it in your body and see how that changes. Because what they say is, mostly whatever we are eating are coming from the food, from the plants. Plants are very sensitive. What's the difference between a non-vegetarian and a vegetarian is, vegetarians are more sensitive than the non-vegetarians because their consumption of plant make them very sensitive. Whereas non-vegetarians have a control over other things because animals have the power of controlling others. But also, those animals are also eating in the food chain, if you look at it, the final food is actually plant, right? All the animals which are consumed actually are eating the plant. So ultimately, the sensitivity of the plant comes to us, but maybe after 2-3 hops and jumps, maybe. But if it is so, then it has to. We are all very sensitive. So every little change in the food, whatever you are saying, it should change you. That's the whole idea, right? And it should change our perspective. The moment you change your perspective, body behaves according to your perspective. The perspective of that is, I am slim and I like being slim. If that becomes your belief, then body behaves that. So somewhere we are not telling ourselves that we want to be slim for whatever reasons. We are trying to make sure that either we want to be seen, we want to be seen probably. And this is a way of loudly telling the world, look at me, okay? Or you're insecure, or you want to be loved by everybody and you're trying to love yourself. Or maybe growth is, you feel growth, prosperity if you're fat. Maybe that's coming from age-old belief that if you're really fat, your tummy is fat, then as if you're doing well in your life. And you might not have heard, but who knows who has put that in our DNA. So there are plenty of those things. And I remember I have mentioned this many times. I don't know, I have mentioned this to you people. I had a friend in pre-university. She used to like a guy and she wanted to get married to him. But her parents said that pre-university is too, you're very little person still, you're not grown up. And so you are thinking like this, but it's not, it may not be like this. So you will decide upon it after you finish your degree. Now, this thing, she became so angry. So she wanted to prove to the parents that they can't get her any proposals. So she would say that, I will show you that I will never get any proposals. And what happened with that is, she kept eating, and she put on so much of weight that we couldn't recognize her after second PUC, So she put on so much of weight because she's only trying to prove the parents, prove her belief. But in the end, who sabotages? She herself sabotaged, right? So we don't know what's that we have put, you become big. If you're fit, that should be enough actually. Unless you have other problems, okay? Other problems are really telling that please reduce the weight, something else is happening. That's how the body is screaming. But if you don't have anything, then it's your perception really, right? So this is how probably we can program our mind to really understand ourselves. And when we understand ourselves, maybe we'll let go of these fat. Or even the muscles can become leaner, firmer, that gives us a beautiful look. You may be big, wide, structured like most of the foreigners. When you're standing next to them, I feel very tiny. I feel like hiding. But they are so big, but they have such good muscles, right? Of course, those are the people who are traveling in India. Other people, I don't know about it, but they are. And that's how these foreigners are made up of. whites rather, they're made up of. Whereas the Africans and Indians, body structures are different, right? Maybe if you just get a firmer muscle, of course, foreigners do a lot of exercise. Exercise is like breathing for them. And maybe they have lesser belief about their body as in fact than us, because their structure is not like that. But it's not that we can't become like them, definitely. So that's how we are trying to train our mind. Okay, so what are you going to do? For 3 days, you try 500 grams by talking good to your food and convincing your body that it should shed. Right? That's all we are going to try. And we have ample opportunity. We don't have to do anything extra because anyway we will eat minimum 3 times. And then we can talk, we can do, and we can just check. Now, so one thing you have to do it, weight your weight before you start. And the same time, maybe in the morning, before your breakfast, after 3 days. And then you do after 6 days. And then you see in these 3 days how you were and how your body has responded. After 3 days, how you're going to be, and how it responded. You'll give a trick about yourself. Okay? Good for all of us. If you know EFT, use it. If you know breathing, use it. Use whatever you want, but try doing that. Okay? Wonderful. What, Navina? You want to say something?
I want to share also, I want to ask also. So first I'll share, it's relating to this because I experiment something, now I could share this. I had literally developed last week of March, I got tested and I got really high cholesterol, really high, means I got scared. And of course, my mom, I was in my hometown and my mom was in another extreme home. I got all panicky things. You shouldn't eat this, doctor advised this. And I was not liking the food which I was taking. Somehow, I was in. Then, when I came here in Bangalore again, like when I was nobody to, monitor me so much. And I had so much of eating out and eating all sorts of food which I was not supposed to eat. What I did was I used to talk to the food while eating and after eating that whatever I'm eating is easily digested in my body. It's easily, and whatever is not, it will splash out from my system. And now I could probably say that my cholesterol levels have absolutely come to normal. Like although the doctor said reduce weight, I did lose some weight, but I have a tendency to gain weight. That I have to figure out why I gain back again. But again, I'll try this experiment. So this was one thing, like, it does, like I experimented it on my own self. I said, okay, eating everything, whatever the doctor said not to eat. It's not that to go against or as a rebel, but I had no option at that time but to eat what I was in my platter. And I just said, it's easily digested and absorbed in my body, and it worked because I have my lab reports now. So that's was one
really
thing.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And the second thing was, I don't know why, although I do lose weight, but I have the tendency to gain back the weight again. Like if I lose 5 again, I gain 5 or 6 again. It's so drastic. Like, so I was wondering, what, like, one thing crossed my mind that also, as you were talking of perceptions, does like emotions, like I've heard, like if you're very insecure, then the body cushions, by adding on weight. Like one of the things which I've heard, I don't know if it's true or not, or emotions get stored in the body and that also adds to the fat. So, so working on all these things, I was wondering now when you said that, experiment like eating. So I also mindfully eating because I strongly support this and vouch for this. It does work. So as you said, don't change your food because I am a foodie, so much. I love food. I love munching also. But, like talking to it. And as you said, sometimes we don't have time. And then telling that I have so much time only, can you just adjust? Can you just, so I believe this is a wonderful experiment and I'm going to enjoy it to the fullest because I'm looking forward. But the only thing is that I need to figure out myself, I think, or maybe, next week, probably we can discuss why I tend to gain back weight again once I lose it also.
Yeah. Incidentally, in one of the constellations we did yesterday for the weight related thing, when we were all sharing our intent, why we want to do it. One person said, which actually took my attention. The person said like this, I lose weight, but again, I'll come back to my normal. This is exactly the word she used. I lose weight, but I come back to the normal. That means for her, that weight is normal. She won't lose it then. Right? So why weight is normal? Has she seen her mother being fat? And has she seen this person? Maybe she should think over it, why she called it as normal. So I was just thinking that why this is normal for her. Okay. So there's some few things like that, why you come back, right? And also physiologically, if you look at it, whenever you're doing an exercise, the effect of it will last for 3 months. So if you do 3 months of exercise, you will have that effect for 6 months. So if you lose within 15 days, it's very less effect. So you will gain back faster. So that is why a proper regime is a 1 year, 2 year regime. Don't expect to lose, whatever 10 kgs in 3 months and oh yeah, done and all. No, you should take 1 year to lose it. Then for 3 years, you will maintain that.
Okay. Yeah, I think.
No, you need to do it slowly. Slowly so that the body becomes naturally that. So that's why, and 1 year is a very demotivating factor, but at least you concentrate on the fun part of whatever you're doing. Right? So then it's nice because perception also by then changes. And by the way, cholesterol, there are two cholesterols, right? Good cholesterol and bad cholesterol.
Mine bad cholesterol was high actually.
That is when people will actually say I have cholesterol. When no one will talk about the good cholesterol. So basically the cholesterol is all about attachments. Okay. So what you should think about whenever there is a cholesterol problem, you should think where my attachments are leading me to stagnation is the bad cholesterol. Where my attachments leading me to grow or move, flow is a good cholesterol. So if you end up having bad cholesterol, your life is stagnated. For some attachment, like for something is causing you to get stagnated. Now when you start thinking about what is that, you will realize, oh yeah, maybe this, oh yeah, maybe that. Because you are attaching to something which is actually stopping your growth or which is not allowing you to smoothly move ahead. So one of the wonderful affirmation is I flow with the flow of life without attachment. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else has any questions?
You just repeat that, Isha. I flow with
the flow of life.
Okay.
With detachment.
Detachment.
Why? Because at least you can think like everything is temporary, big deal. This too shall pass is one of the beautiful saying, because everything is so temporary, then why don't I just flow with it? We want to hold on to something and then we crib about it, we do about it, then it makes us get stuck in those moments. It won't allow us to move ahead in life. That is where you stagnate. Then the cholesterol problem starts. That also gives you layers and layers of fat. So that's why when you become fat, cholesterol starts. So you can correlate. So when you start working on this attachments and telling yourself it's all right, whatever happened, I'm just going to move on. Then cholesterol will come down, so is your weight. Right? Okay, so anyone else has any question or are we done for today? Okay, so let's do this experiment. And people who want to gain weight, please add that intent that this is going to gain whatever. Body is taking its, I don't know, I don't want to make any comment anyway. So that's everybody's choice. Okay?
Isha, since this FC field is there, Sorry. No, I'm
Yes.
just saying, is this FP field? I wonder if we could, those who want to gain weight, we can influence and let them gain weight and we lose weight.
So give my weight to someone else. Huh?
Yeah,
I was
those who
doing
want
that
to
for
gain.
some time to my cat, okay? I was thinking that why can't I just dump all my weight on this cat? And I will tell the cat,
Kill the cat,
take my weight, okay? Take my weight, okay?
I was wondering, it will be like a mutual win-win situation. I want to lose, she want to gain. It's like give and take.
No, that's bad. They don't want to take your weight.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. So it